pains and frustrations, and software to help solve them. Pardon me. Just a beginning note, I've disabled the microphone option. There is a chat box on the left-hand side. Please feel free to ask questions at any time by typing in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer these at the end of the presentation. I'm sure everybody can learn from the questions asked. Right, let's get started. Recruitment trends for 2017. Let me just introduce Paymaster and tell you a little bit about what we offer before we get to our presentation. Just to have a look at our product overview, we have got online management, application management software that will professionalize your recruitment process and will automatically onboard a new employee into Paymaster payroll software. We are very excited about this feature. We also have time and attendance software and hardware that is cloud-based, so it allows the devices to work from just about anywhere. Plus, you can use any smart device such as a cell phone or a tablet to be able to use the software. We also have our payroll system, which is online. It has no limits on the number of employees or companies or users. We've got free support, and we are very proud of our payroll software. We've also been able to integrate with TaxTim for you to be able to upload your MP201 and 501 reports, as well as allowing your employees to do their tax returns via the TaxTim website. That's a new product we're offering to allow our clients and their staff to be able to make use of the service to submit their tax returns without any issues. We've also been able to integrate with Xero, the new accounting software that's also cloud-based. So you don't need to do things manually from your payroll anymore. You can just upload it directly out of the payroll system. We've also teamed up with an HR company to give you HR articles and advice for free. The links are all on our website for you to be able to access those. Right, moving on to our recruitment trends. I've done some research, and the same top trends seem to pop up all over the internet by recruitment industry people in the know. I've selected 6 trends that I think will influence the market here in South Africa quite strongly. Number 1 is mobile access. Most of the job seekers today are looking for positions on social media and job sites that cater for cell phone and tablet access, as that is what the current generation is used to using. If your job site is not mobile compatible, imagine how many qualified, perfect for the position candidates you are losing by not even being available to those candidates. If you have a look at the graph on your screen, you can see how many active candidates are actually having a look on social media and job board sites. It's very high compared to the people who are just relying on applying manually through newspapers or the old-fashioned way of applying for jobs. In specialized industries such as programming or engineering, where there is already a short supply of suitable candidates, if your job site is not up to speed, the candidates won't even bother applying. The attitude of, I'm in demand, cater to me, is quite prevalent in candidates that are skilled in industries that are short in quality employee supply. The worrying part for the recruitment industry is how active most candidates are on mobile platforms, but the recruitment companies are not keeping up. Over 70% of active job seekers are looking for positions on mobile accessible sites. On the other side of the coin, 49% of companies surveyed by LinkedIn don't see mobile access as a top priority in their future plans. That is a huge gap. It is definitely something to think about and to make a priority. Next, we have brand positive. Let's look at some statistics. According to Glassdoor.com, 84% of candidates would consider leaving their current company if another company with an excellent reputation offered them a job. 11% of job seekers would turn down a job from a company with a bad reputation, even if they were unemployed. And 69% of active job seekers would be more likely to apply to a job if the employer actively manages its company brand. Job seekers will make the effort to apply, even through a long, tedious application process, for a position at a job that manages its brand's image positively, whether it be on social media or through interaction with the public by their employees. A lot of big brands say their employees living the brand is the best marketing they can have without spending an extra cent. If your employees believe in the company they work for, their ideals and core business values, it will show in their interaction with customers and suppliers. Company reputation is so important. The next trend is automation and seamless integration. Think about how the world currently works. We expect everything to be personalized for us. Emails from Amazon.com about what books you should read based on what you last bought. Takealot.com gives you ideas on what to buy based on other people buying the same items. Facebook even shows ads based on what you searched Google for, effectively personalizing your browsing experience every time. Now imagine the same for the job seekers. Why can't we have job seeking software that is personalized and creates a relationship with the candidate rather than just requesting the CV, which ends up in a black hole email inbox anyway? Automatic communication with candidates makes them feel valued, and more often than not, they will choose a position on how they are treated during the recruitment process rather than the actual salary or job specifics. As you can see on the current slide, most people do not want to fill out an online job application, and they would really rather be doing all sorts of other awful things than filling out their online job application. This leads us into our next trend, candidate engagement. It is a candidate's market. The recruitment industry revolves around finding the perfect candidate for the position, which requires a lot of pampering and catering to the qualified job seeker. If a candidate is in demand, they will have multiple job offers available to them without too much effort on their part. This is where engagement is so important. According to OfficeVibe.com, the best candidates are off the market in 10 days, when the average hire time is currently 27 days. That means that by the time you've hired who you think is the most suitable candidate for your position, the best of the best have already been snapped up by somebody else. 64% of candidates would share bad experiences, where 27% would actively discourage others from applying. And 60% of candidates have quit an application because it just took too long. This is where engagement is so important. It influences the final choice made by the candidate quite strongly. Treat them badly or indifferently, and they will spread the word. Give them white glove treatment, and the word will also be spread, but in your favor. Positive company image managed. It all starts with a thank you for your application email. Our next trend is artificial intelligence. Robots replacing humans. Imagine being able to apply this to finding qualified candidates. Well, now we can. There are already HR and recruitment systems available that use artificial intelligence to source candidates, to screen candidates for the qualities required, as well as match them to job specs. Imagine how much extra time you would have if your computer could do these things for you. This is where the future is heading. The final trend is not necessarily new, but it needs to get far more attention. The onboarding of new employees. Not to be confused with training, onboarding is the process of introducing your new staff to the company culture, the integration of the employee into the company. Most companies don't bother with this, and this results in employees questioning whether they want to stay or leave. It is so important to get it right from the beginning, and it is something that needs to be addressed. Right, so we have reviewed some trends. Let's have a look at some of the frustrations that everybody faces when recruiting new staff. The complaints seem to come mostly from the candidates, who are the most important part of the job placement world. If a job seeker is not applying, the position remains unfilled, costing the company a lot of money. If the application process is too long and too many forms, the candidates give up halfway. Making the application process as easy as possible goes a long way to making a good impression. Acknowledgement and communication is the next frustration. It is often Practice to put in the job ad. If you don't hear from us within a certain time frame, consider yourself unsuccessful. This comes across to the job seeker that they are just a number and are not important to the company. Even an automated email saying thanks for your application, good luck, makes the world of difference. Qualified candidates are important to your business and they should be made to feel like that. This ties into sensitive, timely rejection. Rejection is hard to hear no matter who it comes from, but worse if it is from someone who has never even met you. Leave a better impression with job seekers by giving them rejection with constructive feedback that they can use for their future job interviews or applications. And our last frustration, what people expect versus what the reality is. This is normally a huge disappointment for both the candidate and the recruiter, having certain expectations, and in actual fact, the reality is a huge letdown, a real demotivator for both sides. Okay, so let's move on to how applicant management software can make all of this easier. I'm just going to close my presentation quickly and just change to sharing my screen. If you can just be patient with me and just get this sorted. I need to... Just give me a second. I'm just busy getting my screen ready. Thanks for your patience. Right, can we just confirm that you can now see what is on your screen? If you don't mind just typing in the chat box that you can see the full login screen currently shown, or if yours is being cut off at all. Okay, I see there's a problem with the mobile device, so I'm just going to wait for Darren to just quickly change to the desktop. Not a problem, I'm happy to just hang on for you. All right, welcome back, Darren. Can you just confirm that you can see the screen all right? Okay, great. I'm just quickly going to log in. What I'm going to do with this demonstration of our software is I'm going to have you have a look at it from two different aspects. The one from the recruiter or the manager's aspect, and the one from the actual applicant's profile aspect. If you can just bear with me, the applicant that's being tested would be mine. So no laughing or giggling about the profile setup. Okay, so I'm going to log in as the recruiter. Welcome back, Marcia. Okay, so when you log in, you will see a calendar on the front of your screen. This basically allows you, when you are busy setting up your interviews or dealing with your candidates, it allows you to see what you or any of your colleagues are busy doing. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, you can see when you have meetings with clients, when you happen to be busy with an evaluation or a phone conversation or anything along those lines with your candidates. So everybody who's logged into the system or using the system can see what is going on with their colleagues and as well as the candidates. So I'm just going to take you through our job advert section. So I'm going to go to a previous advert that had already been loaded. As you can see, we were putting out an advert for a payroll administrator. What our system allows us to do is something called multi-posting, where we can automatically post the advert along a whole lot of job boards, both paid and free job boards internationally. So if you would like, just let us know what job boards you'd want to put on, and we'd obviously get our developers to link this into our system, and then the ads will be placed automatically on those job boards. So as you can see, we have got 4 candidates that have applied and 2 candidates that are matching in our database. As soon as you go and have a look at the candidates that have already applied, this number will disappear. So it's been 4 people that have applied for the position since we were last logged into the system. So let's go and have a look. So here we can see these are the people that have applied for the position. This little blue box tells them that they are new applicants. It just gives a very quick summary of the person's information, and should you want to see a bigger version of their summary as well as their CV or any other documents that are uploaded, you would just have to click on the option. Since these are actual live people, I don't really want to go to their profile, so I'm just going to go and find my profile, the test one, and just add it so that we can go and have a look. So if you can just bear with me, let me just add myself to this job. Okay, so I'm going to go and have a look at my profile. So as you can see, it's just a small summary about the candidate. Oh, I need to add a photo to my profile. And at the bottom here, there's a section that gives a little bit more detail, as well as you can see a copy of the CV. I happen to have done a video interview. So if you want to get your candidates to record a video CV or video interview, we also have that option. I'm just going to play it a bit for you so you can have a look at what it looks like. Hopefully you can hear the sound all right. Okay, enough of that. Hashtag no makeup. Okay, so you can see, you can then have your candidates record a video interview or a video CV, and that then gets recorded onto their profile and can be sent along with their CV and any other document that they've uploaded as a link as a summary through to either a client or through to a colleague that they can then go and have a look at. I can be evaluated. So what you can do as a manager is for every candidate that you are currently reviewing, you can then put comments and evaluate what you think of the person or how it's going with their review, and this also gets recorded onto their profile. What I am going to do is I'm going to ask this candidate to do a job test, which is basically it asks 46 questions and it gives you an idea of emotional strength, etc., etc. I'll show you what it looks like shortly. Let me just send this quickly. Now, as the candidate, I will receive an email saying that a job test has been requested. I just quickly want to show you on another test person what that test would look like. So let me just go back and close this. Okay, let me have a look at his test. So it's just an idea of what you can see. It gives a percentage rating of these different personality styles: assertive, calm, friendly, flexible, reserved, meticulous, etc., etc. So it is nice to have that as well on the system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask this candidate to be part of our job ad so we can play around with him. So now when I go back to my payroll administrators list of the advert that we applied, I can now see that my candidate is now in the list. So what I want to do is I want to now add him to the selection, which I see he's already done, which makes us a little bit frustrating. But anyway, what I'm going to show you is our matching candidates. So what happens is in the matching candidates, the system has a whole lot of keywords that we can set, and basically it filters the people in the database and your applicants and rates them as a percentage on how compatible they are for that particular position. And the applicants, when they apply for the job, there is a section that then shows them how much percentage they are matched to that particular position, and then gives them the option of whether they want to apply based on whether they only got 30% for the position or not. So now what I need to do is I need to find my candidate. In order to do that, I can then change my percentage compatibility. What the system does is it will sort the candidates from 100% down. So if I say I only want to see candidates that are more than 70% compatible, then the system will just quickly refresh. And then it shows me all the candidates that are over 70%. As that what I put my minimum compatibility at. So I want to show you some of the other filters. You can filter for an exact word. So you can type in Excel, or you can type in words that might be specific to the position that you're currently applying for. Here we have the specific sector. So you can select, you only want people who have who are in the advertising field, or only people who are in the airlines field, for example. So we've also got language skills. You can select the language, which I assume would mostly be it defaults to English, but I assume you would then mostly select Afrikaans if that's required, or possibly an African language, or if it's international, it might be French, or it might be Portuguese. We can also do the education level. You can say, you can filter by gender. So you can say I only want male or female. You can say I only want to view candidates only with a picture. So everybody that hasn't uploaded a picture, that's obviously going to be an issue. So what would then happen is once you've selected your or filtered for the employees or the candidates that you are keen on, you would tick this little block and then tick the yellow arrow, which shows that you then want to move them onto the next stage, which is the interview stage. Once they get moved onto the interview stage on our system, you then have the option to either give them an up to 30 questions multiple choice test, in which case you can narrow down some of the questions that you would normally ask in the first face-to-face interview, which would then possibly allow you to narrow down your search a little bit more. Or you have the option to do a video interview where you have a maximum of 30 minutes or 10 questions, and you can set the questions and the amount of time you have per question. And the thing about the video interview is it's recorded as a once-off. You can't repeat it, you can't reset it. So a lot of people feel very uncomfortable doing a video interview purely because their nervousness or their nerves takes over completely, and they get so wired that they can't answer the questions properly. And one of the nice things from the recruiter point of view is it gives you a first look at your candidates, and then possibly the answers that they give to the questions you might be able to address when you have an interview with them face to face. You can say in the video interview, I asked you such and such a question, you gave this answer, let's go into it a little bit deeper. And it just allows you to prepare for the face-to-face interview a little bit more. Right, so what happens is if I don't want any of my candidates, so I've had a look at the candidates and I've said, right, I've added some to the interview section. The ones that I haven't added to the interview section, I would rather say no, thank you. So then what I would do is I would click on this little down thumbs. And what happens then is the system sends the candidate an automatic email to say, thanks very much. Unfortunately, you weren't successful. I'll just show you what the rejection email looks like. That is customizable. So you can change the wording of the thanks for your CV email as well as the wording of the rejection email. Oh, my site seems to have done a duck. Right, let me just show you quickly what it looks like. Rejection email. So this is just an idea of what the rejection email looks like. Oh, hang on, let me just get it back. Rejection email. So it says, dear candidate, we really appreciate the time you took to apply for the available position. As you can imagine, we received a large number of applications. I'm sorry to inform you that you have been not selected for an interview for this position. We hope you don't mind if we keep your information and reach out to you in future should something come up that we think would fit you perfectly. We have new vacancies every week. Make sure to come back and see if there is anything that would excite you. We encourage you to apply for future positions for which you qualify. So we just want to make sure that the employee isn't then, or the candidate isn't then left feeling completely dejected and demotivated, and just gives them an idea that they are not just a number and are important to the people who are actually reviewing the candidates' profiles. Okay, so let me just quickly take 2 minutes to show you what the candidate would go through. If you have any questions so far, you can just type it in the chat section. So just give me a second. Just want to log in as a candidate. Oh, hold a second. Oh, seems I have forgotten my password. Just hold on. Let me just try this again. Oh, unfortunately, I seem to have forgotten my password. Let me try one more time, and then unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to not be able to do this bit. Oh, there we go. It was just a matter of putting the right password in. So this is a look at what the candidate sees. So when they log in, they will see a dashboard. And I see I've already received a notification, which is the job test that I sent a few minutes ago when I was on the recruiter side of the site. It says, congratulations, you're one step closer to your dream job. The company Paymasters is interested in your profile, but before contacting you for a job offer, they would like to see your job test. So please perform the job test. That's the emotional percentage one. So every time you as the candidate get added to the interview section or anything happens on your profile, you are then notified via this dashboard that things are happening on your profile. So you'll see I've had quite a few things sent to me. So if I click on my ads, I can have a look at the adverts that I've applied to. If I click on the document section, it shows the documents that have been uploaded. This is not the CV. So if I upload things like my matric certificate or other qualifications or any other documents, they would show here. If I want to have a look at my video CV, I can come and have a look here. This is the only one that can be re-recorded. The video interview cannot be re-recorded, but the video CV can. So if I'm not happy with my video CV, then I can click here and say record another video CV. Just in case there's something wrong with my voice, or I thought the lighting was terrible, or my hair didn't look nice that day. If you want to make the best impression as a candidate, then make sure your video CV looks the best. Here is where I would do my job test. And so I haven't done the job test yet. So as the candidate, I then just need to click on start your job test. And then I can go through all the questions. Because it's 46 questions, I'm not going to go through it now, but I will make sure it's updated for the next time we do a show of our system. And that's pretty much most of it. Have you got any questions? Okay, great. If you do have, okay, let's just wait for Marsha to finish her typing. How do you create a profile as a recruiter? Well, what would happen is you'd have to contact us, and we would then set you up with your own profile on the system. And then you would have access to the database, and you'd be able to obviously post your own adverts. And what would happen is you would then have your own database. You would be able to build up a database that only you would be able to access. So it's not like other recruiters would have access to your candidates. They would be part of your own database. Hope that answers your question. Right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you learned something new today. If you do have any questions or want to follow up, please give me a shout. I'm going to put my email address in the chat box here. If you have any questions or want to know anything more, then please drop me a line and I'd be happy to give you a call. My email address is amber@paymaster.co.za. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.